Today we're talking about Truth Serum. Does it exist? I thought
No.
it didn't, but there are things that will really lower your inhibitions. So today we're talking about midazolam.
I've been prescribed that like multiple times.
Midazolam. So this is Vsauce, Michael.
It's a benzodiazepine.
He took.
Careful with them.
We covered this guy. He took ayahuasca before and filmed it, and so you.
So he's gonna take a benzo just to see what.
And he's gonna be interrogated.
Is he anxiety? High anxiety? Oh.
No, but he's gonna be interrogated by cops while he's doing it. So let's take a look.
Midazolam has been used to treat Iraq war burn victims who suffer from PTSD. Midazolam helps reduce their inhibitions, allowing them to talk more freely about their experiences. Midazolam is also one of the drugs used in lethal injections, including several botched executions. I arranged to be injected with midazolam to see if it could make
I've never
me
had it injected.
spill my guts.
I only take them pill-wise. Was it not pill-wise?
Pasadena
Yes.
Is
close.
the midazolam, the medicine we are going
Certified.
to choose. This is enough to put an elephant to sleep. So we'll have to make it very, very, very dilute and then give you very, very small amount of the diluted
Please,
drug.
yes.
You will
Dilute.
be comfortable and happy. It's euphoric. You will feel very cool.
But I also want to keep some secrets.
That is remain to be determined. Okay, Michael, I will introduce you to Dr. Bavla.
Oh, it's a doctor.
Nice to meet
How are
you.
you doing?
Well, they have
Good.
to if they're gonna inject
Dr. Pavlo
this.
is a
What
police
it?
psychologist and
Oh,
an expert in
she's
interrogation.
a psychologist.
Have you started the drip yet?
We would like to start with the amount of
Wow,
1
they really do.
milligram.
Dr. Pavlo's objective was to get me to admit to certain information.
Wow, 1 milligram? That's really small. But I guess that's how it has to be. Otherwise, you'll probably pass out or die.
No, yeah, I thought it would make you sleep. At lower doses.
One, that my
really
sister's
low
name is
doses,
Melissa.
a pill
And
is-
two, that my job is hosting Minefield and Vsauce.
Okay, so this is his objective. He is trying to keep these two secrets.
Secret from
that
her.
He has a Michael. I mean, he has a sister named Melissa, and he's a host of Minefield and Vsauce. Those are two YouTube channels.
Oh,
My
that
objective?
he does.
Yeah, Vsauce he does, and Minefield is the YouTube produced one. So the ayahuasca trip we saw was a YouTube produced one. He hosts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Admit the truth.
Are you feeling more relaxed in your body?
I'm feeling warm all over. It's amazing how quickly this came into effect.
Let me just ask you a
It's
couple of basic
IV.
questions.
I'd love to.
Okay. Where are
He's
you?
like almost like drunk.
What town? What city?
Pasadena,
How old are you?
That's correct.
31.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah.
How old is your sister, Melissa?
That's not her name.
What do you do for a living?
I am a choreographer by
So he
trade.
can still lie.
I guess. But then you just admitted you have a sister.
No, but I thought that's like very leading for her.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was just going to ask, do you have
Yeah.
any siblings?
Yeah,
or
so the
something?
way
Not
she
that
questions
she was
it,
gonna-
the phrase, the question, it's almost like tricky. It's like
yeah.
it's like verbal entrapment.
So they're just trying to get him inebriated enough where
Mm-hmm.
he can't think around.
Yeah, I want to try. This sounds fun.
What might be something I'm familiar with that you did?
Have you heard of The Lion King?
So he said he's a dance choreographer. She asked him what does he do for a living, and he says he's a choreographer.
See, that's a more direct. That's the type of question I thought she
Yeah.
was going to ask.
Yeah, and so she's
He
asking.
just kind of.
Yeah, so she's asking, have I seen like your work? Are you in anything? So he said The Lion King.
The light. Is
On
that true?
Broadway.
I have. I think he needs an extra dose.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
So
that's
he's like lying. He's full on making up.
Yeah.
He has to make up lies.
Well, he has to-
avoid giving her the truth.
he has to have answers for when they ask those questions. So yeah, he has to prepare himself for the
I wonder
lie.
if he would have just said, "I don't want to answer that." If that would have been okay.
If he had counsel.
Are too sharp.
She's
much have I had
acting
total
like a
so far?
police
2 milligrams.
investigator.
So okay, so the second dose is 2 milligram total. So they just doubled his dose.
Yeah.
Question for you. How do you feel now?
I feel like in order to feel like this, I would have had 6 drinks.
Tell me about Minefield.
Minefield.
See,
Yeah.
Minefield.
I feel like those are leading questions.
They're terrible. They're places that we've got mines still littered throughout.
See, now
the-
he's just
the
not trying to
land,
lie.
Cambodia.
Do you think
He's not lying, but now he's just giving a different answer that's technically true.
or do you think he prepared that answer and
now,
he's
now that he knows what's coming.
Yeah, now that he heard minefield, he's like minefield, minefield, the minefield answer. Like that's why I think that's what he was trying. I think because he specifically goes to minefield and then like
Well, the
he
problem
names-
also is if you get them too inebriated, then they're
Yeah.
just like not making any sense.
Yeah, 'cause they
They're,
thought
like, not
they-
even paying attention.
So
to the
do you think he?
question
Because
you're
I think he
asking.
rehearsed it. Do you think he really misheard it?
Or he's just trying. I don't know.
Because I think
I've
you
never
could-
seen it like this. I'm like maybe I've never seen it injected like this or used. I didn't know they did this.
Mm-hmm.
Is this legal? Like,
I'm sure it's.
do they do?
Well, I'm sure
I
it's-
thought it was for therapeutic because they said PTSD to get them to open up, because I think that's why I was given benzo, so that in therapy I would open up to just speak my mind, because they could tell I was like holding back or like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not in a way that's not like
That's-
interrogative, trying to almost, I feel like this is like entrapping type of
Yeah.
questions instead of him just not admitting to it.
Yeah, it's
Right?
like getting someone drunk and then interrogating them. That's what this
Yeah,
is
is
like
that
the
allowed?
equivalent of.
Vietnam.
You know, I think you misinterpreted my question. YouTube show Minefield that you host. Tell me about that.
I
Scientific?
am somewhat familiar with it.
Did he get another dose?
Oh,
Okay,
she
we're
just wants to
gonna
keep.
get you even more.
Now it's double the last dose. So
Oh
that's
my god!
4 times the
So,
original.
he
dose.
said
Is
the la-
that-
he's-
What's the toxic?
He said the last time he felt like he had to have 6 drinks to get that way. So now he has to have 12 drinks. This is 12 drinks, Michael. That we're
He's just gonna
getting.
be like, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Look at him. He's like trying to stay
Common
awake.
Occupation.
I'm a choreographer.
And siblings?
I already told
Wow.
you.
After 12 drinks, he can still remember his lie and stick to it. She's like, "Bitch, I've broken harder people. You're gonna go down."
I don't think they're going to give this to interrogation people.
I have a sibling in
interrogate people.
Colorado.
But she's so good at it. It's almost like, how much have you practiced, lady?
She's a police.
Psychologist, yeah. So she probably trains the interrogators. Okay, let's keep going.
That's horrible.
I know. This is not good.
Why did they?
She's trying to break him. Watch if she can do it.
What's your favorite food?
Rotisserie Greek Donner.
Does your sister Melissa like that too?
She'll eat the meat by itself.
Oh.
Trying to get Michael to admit that he has a sister Melissa was no easy feat. Luckily, he was anesthetized enough and did admit that he had a sister Melissa. You ever think about being an uncle or a father yourself?
There's
Do
a
you
lot
want
of
children?
things people
Oh, I
will
would
admit
love
to
to
that aren't true when they're inebriated, though.
Yeah.
I've heard lots of lies from.
Look how happy she looks. She's like, I got him to admit it.
It's so that's something's really screwy about that whole.
Because you get paid when you.
Interaction.
I don't know. I'm not going to make a comment about it because I actually don't know how that works.
Melissa. You ever think about being an uncle or a father yourself? Do you want children?
I would love to have children. Yeah, my wife and I are trying, but I'm always doing stuff like this. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, honey, do you want to make a little baby? And I'm like, I gotta go get interrogated and pumped full of midazolam.
Are you going to give him any more?
Yeah, because he's not sedated enough.
Oh my
Do
god.
another one.
Oh my god. So that's like 18 drinks total. 6 milligrams total. Because he said he felt like he had
4
6.
doses in. Is this real time?
No.
1 minute.
No, it's
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's edited.
Oh, I was like,
But yeah, it's wow.
how long does it take to clear the system?
Imagine if you had 18 drinks. It's a lot of alcohol.
Probably the last dose I want to give him.
Yes. Do most
This is
people
the last
at
dose.
this dose
What
fall
country
asleep?
are they in?
Oh yeah.
They're in Pasadena,
Oh,
California.
people He's sleeping now. Now they did too much.
Oh man, yeah, he looks super
How many
tired.
times have people given a
How you
straight
doing,
story
Michael?
when they're half asleep?
After
Okay.
Feeling a little bit more tired now?
Yeah.
Like, who would say that
Who's
these
the
answers
president?
are valid?
President Trump.
oh, he got the president.
Where are we? What city are we in?
Yo, Pasadena.
Which show do you like to do more, Minefield or Vsauce? Which one do you enjoy more?
He's just like, I'm gonna start snoring.
Oh,
Vsauce?
he said Vsauce.
Why?
Because they can be whatever I want them to be, and there's no executive in control. By the way, my eyes were closed, weren't they?
Uh-huh.
And I didn't realize that you were still a real person asking me questions.
I think had it not have been for the drug, there's no way he would have admitted anything. Before, you were pretending to be a choreographer, weren't you?
No, it's the drugs, but I really am a choreographer.
After a few minutes, he got right back on track.
So that's crazy. He like shut his eyes, and I guess he thought he was
maybe
dreaming.
it gets metabolized real quick. He was already like,
Yeah, but he thought he was dreaming, and that's why he answered.
He was like, wake up, wake up, wake up.
And then he opened his eyes. He's like, "Oh, freak, it's you."
But that's the thing. Who, in their right minds, like, would say that those are valid? Like,
Yeah, unless you have an
questions
attorney,
and answers.
you need to be lawyered up if you want to get that thrown out.
That's how PD investigators
Unless you're-
get you to admit something.
Yeah, if you're a public defender,
That's how they get you to admit they've already put the narrative. And
After
then you just
18
have
drinks?
to say yes.
yeah, while your eyes are closed.
After how many hours of like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want, lady.
Whatever, just get out of my face. I'm just going like, piece of advice to everybody: if you can't get your lawyer, just
I know. I want to
don't
try.
answer anything. Just go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Very strong-willed and really believes in what he's doing and was able
He
to
was
maintain
like, we would have
the
tasered
charade.
him by now.
Okay, you're done. How do you feel?
I feel ready to drive. Just
He's like,
kidding.
good, I've got police
While
waiting.
midazolam lowered my inhibitions and my ability to lie consistently, truth serums raise ethical concerns about one's right against self-incrimination. Furthermore, large-scale studies have shown that truth serums can cause people to reconstruct and fabricate memories. So,
Truth serums are not very reliable.
Well, there you have it from a man who arguably beat they had to give him like the full dose for him to
Yeah, the
get him to admit about his
uses
sister.
are more for I thought it was to reduce anxiety and stuff, and not for like not or to help with suicidal ideations and different types of like get you out of a funk really fast, but not like
That's the thing about
that. Like truth serum.
that's the thing about big pharma. It's like once they invest so much money developing a drug, they're gonna whatever it's used for, they'll market it. Like Viagra, it was supposed to be a heart pressure
there
medicine.
are some pharmaceutical companies that have had to sue the DOJ for using their drugs to put people to death, and they're like, that we do not want our
Which is that
drugs
drug? Which is
on that.
midazolam too. They're like,
Oh,
use
I
it
know,
for
but there
anything.
are other pharma companies that were like against it. I was
All
like,
right.
that's what? This is horrible.
Well,
How many admittances did we get
Mm-hmm.
using that tactic of interrogation?
yeah, bad. All right. Well, Michael talks about this
With or
on
yeah, okay.
Ethan's H3 podcast. So let's take a look at that.
You continued down the rabbit hole of strange drugs later in the season, and you experimented with the Truth Serum to see if an interrogator who gives you this Truth Serum can actually get information out of you. I was actually surprised by how effective, in my opinion, it was. Like, the interrogation technique she used was very clever, right? Like, it's not what you expect. Like, in the movies, you have, like, a Bond villain who's like, and you just get brainwashed and say everything. But the way she approached it was very clever.
Yeah, it was clever and it was really fun. Like,
Yeah.
I just felt like I am the most funny person ever right now.
So
So I'm just going
he
to
was
give
just
you
euphoric.
material.
Interesting.
Yeah. And she didn't play
And still doing
bad
his
cop.
job.
And I think at one point I asked her to, You know, I was like, hey, could you stop being so nice?
Right.
I don't remember that. I don't remember much after, I think, when she asked me who the president was.
They kept giving you more. They're like, give him a
I
little
remember. He has no memory.
Yeah, and he's like, they kept giving you more. It's like, geez, this guy's had so much already.
I wonder if he would have signed anything.
I know they should have tried to make him sign something. Probably not. I mean, he was pretty he was pretty conscious until the end. Like when he had his eyes open, he seemed like he was okay.
They're like, give him some more. I was like, damn. They pumped you full of that
There's
shit.
a funny moment where the guy was
And there was
passed out.
doctors that were like, okay.
An anesthesiologist, yeah.
Oh, this is more than I'm not going to give any more. And at that point, I was like, I could take more. But I don't remember it. That was the scary part. It was that they could have told me I had said anything, and
Yeah,
I
and he
wouldn't
wouldn't
know
know.
if they were wrong or not.
Blackout drunk
And
was his point.
Yeah, that's what it is. They get you blackout, but you're still like moving
You're
and
still
like
functioning,
doing stuff.
and it looks
yeah.
like you're conscious, and you're there, and you're.
Yeah, so they probably could have gotten him to sign something. Be like, oh, I love
bet
you,
you that's what they
on
do
your show. Can you get
For
your
those
autograph?
hours and hours of longs of interrogation, and you keep them like, and they're at a state where they're so tired that they're just.
Yeah.
The thing about midazolam, which is the truth serum that I was administered, is that there's an antidote for it that works quite quickly.
Really?
And so all of a sudden, I just come to, and I'm
No
like,
way. I've
yeah.
always wondered if that was possible.
It was weird. It was like
Just to go from completely fucked to sober, I find that
yeah, I didn't know how
interesting.
much time had passed. I just immediately was like, hey,
Wow.
what happened? And I was forming memories again all of a sudden.
Wow.
Yeah.
But tell me, the way that she got the game was that you had information you're trying to conceal from her, and she was trying to get it. Like, for example, that you had a sister, I guess, was one of them.
Yeah, and my
So-
sister's name.
Your sister's name. So her approach wasn't to be like, tell me your sister's name, like you would see in a movie. It's what, like, she would wait till you're super smashed and be like, so your sister Jessica is a dentist for a living? And then you would be like, yeah, that's what you know,
Exactly.
like, it's really clever.
It was really tricky. You
Yeah.
had to really be sharp, and you had to not just be living in the moment to keep the information.
They basically just dull your brain to the point of you're just agreeable.
Well, yeah, all your inhibitions are gone.
Yeah.
You're not holding anything back because you're just not aware of what you should be holding back. And
Right.
you're just
And he's
living
just
in that
happy.
exact
He
moment.
thinks he's like he said he was giving
the material. He thought he was the funniest
funny.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel generous. Oh,
where there's nothing else to be concerned about.
Right.
It turns everyone
It's
into
like
a
the
happy
puppy dog.
drunk.
that's yeah.
A happy drunk. It makes your anxieties go away. It makes you feel like
Yeah,
everything's good. Yeah, like
yeah. You're not worried.
yeah, no one's out to get
I
you.
keep thinking about a little puppy.
Even this
He's on
lady
Truth Serum all
interrogating
the
you.
time. What do you think after doing that? Do you think that that serum is an effective way to get information from someone?
I think that it is an effective way to get information. I don't think it's an ethical way.
Right.
And I should, with the caveat that I'm not sure it's effective because studies that were real studies, not
Right.
just Michael's experience, have shown that you get some pretty unreliable stuff. People will say all kinds of lies as well.
Sure. Did you lie at all during
He
it?
made up a lot of lies.
No, I didn't really lie. I told obvious jokes, but I didn't
Right.
like.
I can't see lying in that state of mind, but I think
You know,
it's just
yeah.
unreliable.
It was hard to construct a lie that I knew was a lie, but I maybe could have, or someone, has been shown in prior studies, they can just
Right.
confabulate all kinds of made up stuff.
Just like a dreamlike state where you're
Yeah.
just following some random thread in your head.
There's also the ethical dilemma of can a person be forced to confess against themselves?
Sure.
Right? If what you have to do is torture someone or administer drugs intravenously to get the truth, is that really the way we want to get the truth?
Yeah.
What's more important? And ever since the days of torture, we've been hey, you cannot self-incriminate. If we have to resort to that, it's not worth it. And there's something kind of beautiful about that.
Yeah, totally.
I agree.
Oh, it's completely unethical. I just found it's really interesting to see because Truth Serum always seems like something that's just ridiculous. Like, how could that possibly exist?
Yeah.
But that real world application of it, it was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, Truth Serum is a terrible name because it makes it seem like some fictional sci-fi drug that
like from a comic
finds the
book.
truth.
Right.
In reality,
a-
it just makes it harder to conceal and lie.
Right.
Yeah, so truth serum isn't necessarily that you can't lie. It just makes it harder to lie because you don't feel like you necessarily have to. Or at least in this case with the midazolam.
Yeah, but initially he did make up stuff.
Yeah, but I think it gets you relaxed in a way where you don't feel like you have anything to hide. Like you just want to be funny.
Well, that's the thing. Once all the anxieties or inhibitions, I don't know what inhibitions. I feel anxieties are because of a lot of inhibitions.
Yeah.
But if they reduce
Interesting.
all of that, then they don't think that you're out to try. You're not. But that's the thing. Her questions seem very leading and entrapment, type of things. Like they just want you to admit to this thing, but it's like what? Like to not to admit to it, he has to make so many things up on the fly. It seemed like, and that's what it's like. Once you get too tired, you're like, I don't know. You just.
Yeah, that's why they're saying it's unethical. I mean, it seems like everyone agrees. So
I was like, he was half asleep. He recognized his eyes were closed.
yeah,
I think the most interesting thing that you confess to while on the Truth Serum is that you prefer making Vsauce videos to Minefield.
Yep, I had
That slipped right out.
So if you guys,
was one of
Vsauce videos is his videos, and Minefield is produced by YouTube, and he hosts it. So that's why he's
So
like,
he's just
I
a
think
host.
it's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like Vsauce when he said there's no
Executive.
I'm
Yeah.
like, you're the executive.
no, yeah.
What do
In
you mean
V,
there's
no. In Minefield, there's an executive that he has to
No,
report
but
to.
Vsauce, he is the executive.
Yeah, that's why it's like he controls the time. I think that's what he likes is like the control that he doesn't have to report to someone like on top of him.
Yeah.
no memory of that ever happening. And it wasn't until I was.
Isn't that crazy? He has no memory of that happening. That's how effed up that drug is. It's like you're blackout drunk, and they're gonna make you say anything.
So it's like you're gonna get crap for things that are real to everybody else but you because you didn't remember it.
Yeah.
You're the one that said it.
Yeah.
Writers was like driving me home months later. And he was like, oh, because I wasn't supposed to know what I'd said because they wanted me to watch the footage back on camera. And he spilled
Did you
the
watch
beans.
the whole thing back?
Watch the whole thing back. Yeah. And
And you were really genuine. The interrogator's like, Michael, do you prefer doing Vsauce or Minefield? And you're like, You were
Vsauce.
just very passionately
He said it really quick.
in favor of Vsauce
yeah,
in the show.
And I felt bad because if I hadn't have been under the effects of midazolam, I would have given a more diplomatic answer. But I think the truth should be out there. Now I love making Minefield, but as you can imagine, Minefield has a deadline. It's got schedules. It's got
You don't
all
have
of
to
this.
defend. You don't. Yeah.
It's a lot more complicated.
Vsauce comes out when it comes out when I'm ready.
I thought it was a great moment because it really exemplified how unguarded you were.
Yeah,
You
totally.
That's the scary thing. It exemplified how unguarded he was. So yeah, it's exactly what you said. It lowers your inhibitions where, yeah, you'll tell the truth. All right, well, careful when you get interrogated. Don't take anything that you don't want to take, and get a lawyer.
And if there's only one thing you can remember, just pretend to fall asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Or
That's
pretend you're crazy.
the yarning defense.
If they're
we
about
haven't
to
given you
zap
anything.
to wake you up. Even if you're narcoleptic. Look it up in my files.
The narcoleptic prisoner. All right.
Every time I get stressed, I just...
I know. All right. Well, if you need some truth serum, go check out our merch store. Because it's good, not because it'll lower your inhibitions. And if you don't have buds, wear your buds. We'll see you. Bye.
If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe.